Yes, I will say hi to Lab Time today. And today we're gonna take a look at Envelope Follower and how to use that creative. I made just a little thing beforehand here today that sounds like this. This is a DJ's nightmare because it starts slow and goes faster and faster until you see this little point, then it's up to speed. The deep one, and you have to have headphones up at home for it, or some monitors to hear the sub. So, and then the kick will come in here, but then look at the muddiness because it's not sidechain compressed. So they kind of lay on top of each other in a constructive way. And then I'll just have some hi-hats and percussion come in. Well, it's a very simple beat. But what we can use the envelope follower for is, let's take the beat and just listen to that, and we're gonna loop this area. So we have this, and I'll find my envelope follower, it's here. And right away you can see it will scan the wave file, the audio file. And you can see it's, if I zoom in here, it will find all the all the small little transient. So it's actually too fine. So what we can do is actually turn up the fall. Now you can see it will smooth it out. I'll zoom out a little bit so it looks okay. So now instead of all these small little glitches you see on the top, it will smooth them out. So this is the return, and you can see the bottom here will rise. So the signal will rise when you put up fall, and the attack will be on this. So it will not go as high up, we'll turn it down at the beginning. So let's find a good spot. And you can see the more I open up, the less it will have. But what we can do, if it's down here, we can just gain it. So we have a full signal. So about here. And what we can use this for now is, if I take on the sub bass, if I take the EQ8 and put on the sub bass, I can take this one and make it a shelf, or I can just take the first one, here, and make it a shelf. Take the hertz up to about 100. And the cool thing is that this one, I can map this parameter up to the sub bass and to the gain. So now you can see it's closed, and if we hear the kick and we see our little thing going on here, now you can see on the bass it will actually pump this up instead. So now it will go both ways, so we have to go back to the beat and we'll try and shift this. So the signal goes 100% and then down to 0. And now we can see it will pump it down. The only thing is you can see there's a Q, so we'll actually boost the signal right in here. That's the Q, so let's just take that down. So right now it will just smack the bass down whenever the kick is there. So now we can try and hear the bass sound with that, and now it should not be muddy. And then we can dial in the frequency. The more we'll have, the more we'll turn it down. So we can actually exclude some frequencies. So I would have it about here. So this is kind of like sidechain compression, but this is just in a clever way, I think, that you don't have any clicks, you don't have anything, and it's really easy to dive in. That's one way to use the envelope follower. So what I would do actually, because I have a whole group with basses, so I will just take this one and put up in my group. So it's all three basses that gets this ducking of the low end. And now we can hear the whole thing. Much more smooth sound now, because we cut out the low end from the basses when the kick hits. What we can use it for as well is that we can take a pad sound, just make one. We have Vital in here. I'll just use Vital and have this lovely sound. And put a filter on. And let's just put some delay and reverb on. And we'll take an envelope 2, and open up the filter. By the way, you would learn this at the sound design class. So please join. We'll have this open up a little more, and then not as much. 1 octave up. Have that spread a little bit. And lastly, let's just destroy the sound with an LFO, just a little bit. And have the filter down. Nice, and you can hear it starts right away. So let's just copy this. Oh, we'll just make this one go up. Take the release. Okay, that's just the sound we need. And let's just put in this little one we made up here. Just copy that down here. And here. So what we can use the envelope follower for is we can take, let's find something weird. Like a drum loop. Let's try and put that in. It will be fast or very slow. Let's just hear that sound. Yeah. We'll just make that half tempo. But it's not the sound we need, because I don't care about the sound in this track, because that would be weird in this track. It's the signal, it's the audio signal I want in my envelope follower. So I'll put the envelope follower in here. Like this. And then I'll turn off the audio. So we still have this. And now you can see down here, we have this from the beat. And let's just put the rise on and the fall. Maybe only the fall, because I want the transient to be fast. Like this. And then we can map So we can do it two ways. We can use this as, let's take the auto filter, a filter, and put on the pad here, solo this, and take the envelope follower and map this. Just click on the next track here on feedback. Now we can hear it sounds for the beat. Because it uses the drums. So let's try and make it fast, like the drums. Again, like it were before. It sounded weird, but now let's use it as a signal. I liked it better when it was slow, like this one. But it's kind of, if you see in here, it would close it all the way down. So what we can do is we can go in here and open up the percentage of how much it should be. So now we can open up the filter as well, so get more sound out of it. I'll try and put this 1 octave higher. And let's put in a reverb. Maybe it's too high up here. So we'll go in here and we can take it down with these. I'll gain it down a little bit. Kinda, but much customizable, because now we can just put in whatever we want. We can say, okay, let's try this signal. Let's try and put that in. How does that sound? Because it's only the signal. Open up for the gain a little bit. Let's try and hear it. So you can see it's very nice that you can just use this audio info. We can also try a little experiment. If I can go in here and say input, let's just take microphone from the computer, and we'll have an audio file here. Turn that on. So now you can actually see when I'm talking, it makes a signal. And if I put this over here, so there will, oh, did we go over here? Let's put it on. Whoa. Why does it, oh, it has to be in? No. Here we go. Yeah. And then we'll gain it a little bit. So if I take this sound and I talk, let's see, it's very loud on the computer, so let's turn it down a little bit. Hello. And let's see here, when I speak, it will open up. Let's turn it down a little bit more so the microphone won't catch it. So when I speak, it will actually open up the filter and close when I'm not speaking. So you know, it's just a signal. So it's really nice that now it opens up when I'm talking. So you can have this as a creative way to do modulation as well, you know, with your voice if you want to use that, or you can finger drum on your computer or whatever to make this filter Would you push the last one?
The last one?
Yeah. Just hold it in for a few seconds. So yeah, the envelope follower is a great tool to make some nice things as well. And I made like a dynamic thing for my drums. I can show how it looks like. The first thing you showed was for the sidechain compression.
Yeah.
Was it better this, or what was the advantage of using this? I like to use this because this measures sound instead of a signal. So a sidechain compression would also, well, if you use it as a compressor, you'll probably have a click. This doesn't have a click. If you use something like LFO tool I showed you last time, that's cool. It makes lives easier, but it's really great with 4x4. So if you have drum and bass, this would be a lot more precise because it hits when the beats hits, without clicks and stuff, and without you do automation or anything. So sometimes I use it, sometimes I use LFO tools, sometimes I use duck, different kinds of tools. But I think this is a really great way because you have control over how much of the signal. So right now it's ducking the whole thing down completely, but you could say, well, it just needs to duck down, 6 dB or something. That's enough, So it's very controllable, and it goes directly from the kick. It's like almost like a dynamic EQ. Well, it is not, but the theory behind it is kind of in that way, So I have something like this. I use some of the times on my drums. So I have an EQ that is on mids and sides, and then I control the dynamic range of the signal with that. So you can hear the drums and see, oh. So now you can see this will make some of the high-end peaks. If I want to, I can also say I won't have this is the stereo field. So if I don't want too much stereo, or now the stereo field is dynamic after the beat. So this will give me more dynamics if I use it in this way. And I can pump up the places that needs to be pumped up, but by the sound of the drums that triggers that. And it's just, I have this envelope follower that's just marked to different points. So you can see in here, it doesn't just map one. I can click here and I've actually mapped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to the same machine, and then the percentage of how much I want on each band I can control as well. And that was envelope follower. Any questions? No? Okay. See you next time at Lab Time. Come join us here or just watch us on YouTube as usual. See you.